Students remain concerned about the increase in the number of victims from the deadly coronavirus, but all they can do is to take precautions to stay safe and healthy. Fareed, MU Report. Paid or unpaid, internships help students to have a hands-on experience on their course or degrees, and it's only a matter of time when their internships becomes their full-time job. By using Marshall's Career Education Services, students can not only apply a full-time job, but also improve their resumes and interview skills. That's all the time we have for this edition of MU Report. Our newscast content is generated by students in the W. Page Pitt of School of Journalism and Mass Communication. Students can recover from burnout by taking short breaks from their studies, by meditation, and by exercising, so that they can prepare themselves for the final exams. The registrar says students should always check degree works and discuss schedules with their advisors before they sign up. For international students, it's not easy to adjust to American culture, but for some students, there is no difference. In either ways, Marshall's counseling department is helping students to overcome not only depression and anxiety, but also other symptoms caused by culture shock. Oh, who do you think is going to be the next president of the United States? Is it going to be Joe Biden? Is it going to be Bernie Sanders? Or Trump is going to continue his reign, you know?
Of terror.
We're going to cut that. Even after taking all the precautions to avoid the deadly coronavirus, the question remains that if the students should be allowed to visit the rec center and use the equipment, or if they should stay at home and quarantine themselves. Marshall University has shut down the classes due to coronavirus, but Marshall's rec center is still open for students, and the director says they're taking extra precautions for cleaning and using a special chemical to kill coronavirus.
But the chemicals we're using are approved by the CDC as chemicals that do kill the coronavirus. We checked that right away when this all kind of hit. And luckily, we already had in stock everything we were going to need. We are going through and wiping down all of our balls every time they're handed back to us, and just encouraging hand washing.
Students visiting rec center are cleaning the equipments by themselves before using them, and are making sure that they don't have any physical contact with any other student.
Stay on top of your hygiene. Don't shake hands with anybody. Try to keep 3 feet between you and anybody else. Wash your hands several times during your workout.
Even after taking all the precautions to avoid the deadly coronavirus, the question remains that if the students should be allowed to visit the rec center and use the equipment, or if they should stay at home and quarantine themselves. Fareed, MU Report. As spring semester is approaching its final point, seniors will be kicking their job search into a high gear, as it's hard for students to secure a full-time job after graduation.
I believe it's hard to find jobs because you go through schooling, but a lot of the jobs require experience, and some of the jobs need one experience, but if you've been in school, it's hard to find that time balance in between that.
I mean, it definitely can be difficult because, first of all, I mean, a lot of the times you don't know where to go as soon as college is over. Like, you just finish your career, you're like, okay, but I don't know where to go from here now, so.
Marshall's Career Service Department is helping students with interviews, resumes, and job applications, and they say internships play an important step towards securing a full-time job.
Internships are super important. The earlier you can start doing them, the better. So by your sophomore year, you should be applying.
I believe they're crucial. You get to take what you've learned in the classroom and now you get to apply it and see how they balance out, because different companies have different ways of applying the methods.
You can come in our office and do a mock interview. If you have a specific job that maybe you have an interview coming up in a week, bring in that job description and we'll walk you through what an actual interview is going to be like.
By using Marshall's Career Education Services, students can not only apply a full-time job, but also improve their resumes and interview skills. Fareed, MU Report. One of the most common challenge international students face is dealing with culture shock, which can be really hard for some students to overcome.
Stuffs like getting bed sheets and also some furnitures. I need to set up everything by myself, so that was the tough part for me.
Most common problems students face are sadness, insomnia, depression, homesickness, health, and feeling of being lost.
I feel a little bit lonely. I need every time I talk with my family.
Sometimes I miss my wife and baby, you know.
Culture shock affects in many ways, but mostly health and food.
So the here is like, it's a little greasy and also some little salty and sweet. like too much sweet. My favorite food, definitely pizza. It's my favorite food.
Food is how we feel comfortable. First of all, it feeds our body, but it also is a source of social interaction.
Marshall's counseling department helps students overcome daily life problems like culture shock, depression, and loneliness.
In order for a student to get an appointment with us, they can call, they can come in, they can email for an appointment. We have walk-in hours, so if students want to just come in and be seen, then we can set them up for an intake that would be a longer session later on. We're very flexible to work with students. We just like to make sure that they're able to talk with us if they need to.
For international students, it's not easy to adjust in American culture, but for some students, there is no difference. In either ways, Marshall's counseling department is helping students to overcome not only depression and anxiety, but also other symptoms caused by culture shock. Fareed, MU Report.